Burning some midnight oil here. Thought I'd make a little video about this truck I'm working on. It's a 06 Ford. A little rust on that back quarter like a lot of them do. Don't matter, GM, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Toyota. Up where I live up here in Vermont, they talk about the rust belt. They're not even thinking about Vermont. It's terrible. They're using this rust, what we call salt brine, or rust brine, if you will. You take these trucks with the box frames. I call them Franken frames because they remind me of like Frankenstein's monster. Lots and lots of pieces and parts all mixed together. Well, these Franken frames, as I say, are nothing but sheet metal, and they're built into a box design instead of having a regular C-channel frame conventional trucks used to have. All your critical components are just welded to the light gauge sheet metal, and what I'm doing is I'm plating it with 1/8 inch plate. And the way I do it, rather than cutting out one piece, I have done it with cardboard cutout. It's a lot more work, takes a lot longer. I have found it's better off to do the main structure, which is this piece between the cross member and the forward body mount. That was terrible. That was all full of holes all the way through, and underneath is the bottom of the frame needs to be all redone too. I'll do that next. What I've done is I'm bringing this panel down so that I can have the next panel across the bottom, have a joint weld there. I'm going to make that in pieces so that I can find there's a couple strong parts on this that I can preserve. And I also have to preserve I always want to remember when you're fixing a frame, your keyhole slots, leave them for the guy. I do towing. I'm a tow trucker also. And if you weld those holes in, it makes it hard to find a place sometimes on a vehicle. This one here, like I said, is it's not too bad on the outside. Underneath it is, even though it looks kind of scaly up there, I've pounded it all down, and there's only really a couple of weak spots. But what I have to do is go at least 3 points, probably 18 to 20 inches long in two of them, and then I'll conjoin them all together with fish plates, and then you've got something. Like I said, these things are made out of multiple pieces, and they weld them and overlap them, like right here and around this side. See, it's just, they just take these multiple pieces and fit them together rather than having a conventional frame. And apparently it's pretty strong when it's in good shape, but tonight I'm trying to wrap this up because I'd like to get it to the customer tomorrow before the weekend. But I got some more welding to do, so I thought I'd make this little video for other people that have trucks with these box frames. They can be fixed, especially up here in Vermont. They're gotten really stringent on the inspection, motor vehicle inspections, and we have to literally take a hammer to the frames, and if we go through, then they won't accept them. So a good old Lincoln welder. I do have a wire feed, but on something like this, I like the good old Lincoln welder with the good old 6011 rod. And I gotta get back to work. So I'm going to skip ahead here now, and I'm at the end of the job. All the cutting and grinding and fitting and welding and clamping, everything's done. I'm just waiting for this undercoating. I did forget to mention, when you're prepping your pieces, your panels, you should clean the frame up as good as you possibly can, and I use that copper weld primer. It works really well between the panels, and then a good grade heavy grade undercoating on the outside after, something that stays pliable. And when we get everything in, the fuel tank and whatnot, then we're going to hit this girl with fluid film. She needs it bad. She needs to be chipped away a little bit and cleaned up and fluid filmed. But just wanted to mention a couple of those little things. That's what you can do if you've got one of these trucks. Rather than looking for a frame, they can be built back, individual panels. Like I said, this is my Franken frame, because it's just a matter of hard work. This is about, for me, it was about 10 hours. I don't think I'll do one of these on the lift again, because it's just too hard working around the lift on this outside. But all the important components are all connected together, and it's fish plated, so the you might say ankle bone is connected to the tailbone again. And we'll be giving this guy another 4 or 5 years life on this frame. The other side isn't too bad yet. We're going to blow that all out and fill the bottom with fluid film, and God willing, he can get some mileage out of it. Maybe I'll make him an offer, because for the sake of a little body work and maintenance, this truck's got no mileage. Might make a good service truck for my guys to beat to death. But anyways, nice little truck. I'm glad we were able to save it for him. Till next time.